Okay, I wanted to talk about very specifically what the daemonic or the daemonic is, and kind of clarify things a bit there. All right, so first I just want to let you know about my Patreon stuff. Join me over on Patreon, where you will find all of my books, services, and courses in the shop, blog posts, and the various tiers which you can explore. You can get magical training in the Temple of the Horned Serpent First Degree, and joining as a free member gets you started with that. Or explore the Magical Journal and the Egregore Project. Hope to see you there. Okay, the Daemonic. When we talk about the Daemon, spelled Daemon, I mean, I've referenced this many times, and I think people know what I'm talking about when I talk about the daemon or the daimon, which is Daimon. This is the Latin daemon and the Greek daimon, which usually refer to tutelary spirits. There is a whole history that goes back to, what was it, 3000 BCE, the first earliest recorded texts of this particularly that was using this word before the word theos, which actually referred to God or gods. So, when they were using the word daimon in the Greek texts, it was obviously spoken language, I suppose, as well. It was referring to something which wasn't just this, what we refer to as a tutelary spirit now, or something which is kind of like talking in your ear and guiding you and things like that. This was referring to everything. This was referring to what I call the omnil, which is the all-know thing. And then throughout centuries, millennia, these interpretations changed. We had the philosophers come along. Socrates had a very big impact on this particular word and how it was used, in the eudaimon and the kakodaimon, and all these particular words, terminologies, and usages of the language. But when we talk about the daemonic, and you'll usually hear people like myself and other people who do follow demonolatry to pronounce it as demon or demonolatry, and it's because the word demon, Demon, the modern English word, originated from these Latin and Greek words, and it just got taken by a particular group of people who, I don't need to name them, and they changed it to something evil. If it wasn't part of their little camp, then it was demonic, and therefore it was evil, therefore it should be rejected. This included all the gods and goddesses, majority of them anyway, and any type of spirit or entity or being that was not part of their faith and religion. So everything became demonic, all right, and therefore became evil, satanic, all of that stuff. So the problem there is that's absolutely has no relationship at all to do with the original words. And yes, I know the words evolved and changed over time, but it wasn't this huge leap from being an entity to being this thing that should be rejected and thrown away because it's considered to be evil, and therefore we should not be interacting with it. This was referring to the gods and the goddesses. This was referring to the Fae, the Jinn, all the beings, the Shadim, all of it. All of these entities were daimons. Anything that was at one stage, the interpretation of daimon, as far as I know, was even anything living. So we were daimons, people were daimons. As I said, the interpretation has changed, altered over a long period of time. So what is the daimonic, or the daemonic? So I do relate more to the Greek than the Latin myself, so that's why we're using the word daimon instead of daemon. but what are we referring to with the daemonic? Now, this obviously comes out of demonology, which was kind of brought to the public by S. Connolly. And as far as I'm aware, I did see her talking about this once. The intention was not to bring it into the public light. It was she wrote a book for the covens and put it on Lulu so that people could actually buy it and print it, and it became public. So she just carried on writing books and getting more information out there, which is great, fantastic, love it. But yeah, so this term demonology or daemonology, that's kind of where it comes out of and originates from. I have seen mention or use of it before that, but very subtly, kind of almost abstract use of the word itself. And I say this because it was very specifically daemonology or demonology instead of demonology. Sorry, demonology, which is the just the study of demons, not working with or worship of demons. So that's kind of like where this whole thing sprouted from. Okay, so then we have this idea of the daemonic, and when we're talking about the daemons and the daemonic, we're kind of relating to this specific tradition, this specific path, demonology, and you'll find that the Pantheon within this particular path or tradition is very much based on two things. One is the ancient Middle East, and the second is chthonic spirits. By chthonic, what we're talking about are underworldly spirits, can often be considered to be terrestrial, kind of close to the earth realm, and that's why we often refer to the Jinn, or the 72 spirits of the Goetia being the Jinn, who have names which are related to ancient gods and goddesses that were worshipped thousands of years ago. So they probably originated as gods and goddesses, but it all focuses around the ancient Middle East. You'll find this extends obviously into Egyptian. There's a lot of hermeticism within demonology itself. It also extends into the Greek, because that whole area kind of melded together somewhat. And this is why we have entities like Hecate, who get included in the pantheon of demonology and get considered as being daemonic or daimonic, because the interpretation of that within demonology itself, the word demon, refers to divine intelligence. Okay, and when we're talking about divine intelligence, we could include every single god, goddess, angel, archangel, cherubim, seraphim, jinn, fae, all of it. They are all, I consider them all to be divine intelligences. And this is why we have also the angelic forces. We've got Lucifer, Samael, Azazel, Shemyaza, etc., etc., etc. Why are they included? Because they're chthonic. They are considered to be fallen angels, and therefore they are earthbound. They are closer to the earth realm and underworldly, and therefore they are considered to be chthonic in many regards. So yeah, that's kind of, I would say this is what we're referring to when we are talking about the daemonic forces or the daemonic entities. I do not personally like to refer to them as infernals. I know a lot of people do, and I kind of understand why. It's just infernals kind of, if something is infernal, it's referring to the realm of the Christian hell, and that's not part of my worldview at all. It was at one stage in my life, but I've completely and utterly removed that from my worldview. It crops up every now and again, as you know, these things do, but it's just not part of my worldview, and therefore I don't use those particular terms. I won't talk about the the demons from hell or the infernal spirits or anything like that. But as I said, I understand what people are talking about. You know, it's very much the reference of infernal versus angelic. I kind of refer to the chthonic or the terrestrial versus the celestial. Okay, so you know, just semantics, different uses of words, different interpretations, and things like that. All right, but I think that's kind of covers the whole thing of what the daimonic or the daemonic is, and gives you a better reference point. Okay, so I hope that helped, and thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Cheers for now. Bye bye.